And in sports, VTM FC held Township Rollers to a goalless draw. The President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, says government is committed to promoting citizen participation in the country's economy. He said many Botswana are skilled and educated to take up various job opportunities, hence should be given a chance to do so. The President said this when addressing a Khotla meeting in Moshopa this morning, calling on citizens to work diligently for a better result.
Ke batlela ditiro tse gore nne tsa Botswana e nne bone bantlha ba thatjwa go senkwe ba tswakwa ha go sena Motswana ona le bokgoni o ka dirang ba ke tsena mo pusong ke tlo ka mananeo a sekana ka sepe mme mananeo ana bontsi ba one a itebagantse mo goreng a re atumetse beng gae mo go direng mme re ba khotet ba bereke je moet werk me ba mogela balemi ba rona ba go rekwe dio tsa bone dijo tse di jwang mo dipatela tse di jwang mo dikgolegelong gongwe le gongwe ga puso e rekang dijo teng re batla go rekwa mo Motswaneng sa ntlha Motswana.
Still, Moshopa President Mokgweetsi Masisi has donated a white Brahman pedigree bull to Repita Pitso of Moshopa to improve his breed quality, as he has shown determination and hard work in the farming industry. The government said improving cattle genetics as well as value chain development in the agriculture sector is at the forefront to diversify and develop the economy of this country. President Masisi donated the bull this morning in Moshopa when addressing a Khotla meeting.
Re godiswa ke kgomo ya rotlhe Batswana ba itse kgomo Batswana ne ke te ba le bala kgomo re batla gore gakologa le gore kgomo e tshiswa yang e godiswa jang re tlhabolole nama re rekisang go mahatshing a sele e ratwa thata e rekwa ka tlhotlhwa e go godimo ha e tlhokomelesegile mme ke rana ka gore ke batla gore morwa Pitso a tswe ha leng teng a tlhatlogela ha godimo ke rana ka gore ke setse morago ditaelo tsa lona Batswana tsa lenaneo la tebelopele ya setšhaba
Now, the Minister of Minerals and Energy, Rele Fokumuagi, says women in the mining industry should be empowered and afforded the opportunity to showcase their leadership prowess as well as the ability to develop and grow this industry. Minister Muagi indicated that this could only be realized if the various stakeholders within the mining sector simultaneously uphold inclusion, diversity and equity in the mining space, adding that the move could propel the industry to greater heights. He made these remarks at the launch of the ongoing two-day Women in Mining Conference held here in Gaborone. Wame Khasudi.
The mining industry remains one of the male-dominated sectors worldwide, especially in leadership positions. This is, however, said to be fueled by the cultural norms and patriarchal beliefs that continue to define gender roles even within this sector. Meanwhile, government is unwavering in its intentions to transition the local mining industry into a new paradigm by increasing women representation and promoting gender parity within the mining space.
As a ministry, we need to lead the review and abolishment of any regulations and cultural practices that are based on gender stereotypes or which perpetuate traditional gender roles, restrict the types of work in which women can engage. And we've started doing that. There's no work that any woman cannot go in. The proportion of women to men in the C-suites of mining houses also is unsatisfactory. But in order for us to plan, ladies and gentlemen, we'll need data. Without data, we cannot adequately structure sustainable reforms.
We believe in this dream that gender equality is possible and that each and every one of us has a role to play to get us there, no matter how small that role may seem. With only a few years to the SDGs, meetings, conferences, and events such as this one have become increasingly important because this is where dialogues that shape our future take place.
Never forget that you matter. Never forget that. You matter. And please, put in the work, stay true to who you are, no matter what the challenges are. Because we need you in the game, especially now. And challenges will be there. Don't let them deter you.
Inclusion, diversity and equity within the mining sector could efficiently improve productivity.
The more diverse your workplace is, specifically the more gender diverse it is, the more powerful, the more functional, the more robust, the more enjoyable it is.
When you talk about inclusion, diversity and equity, it should not only just be a construct of looking at demographics, a construct of looking at percentages. It's also a construct of understanding that when you truly do say as an organization that I want to be embracing of anything that is different, be ready for that difference.
Women have been emboldened to be dauntless and know that, just as their male counterparts, they too are capable of being at the helm of any organization. Wame Khasudi, PTV News, Gaborone.
Now, the eagerly anticipated fan-shaped salary structure, as recommended, is expected to be introduced in a phased manner within the public service, most likely in the coming financial year. This approach is intended to facilitate a seamless transition with minimal disruptions, as emphasized during the meeting between the Directorate of Public Service Management and public servants in Silvipikwe. Mamusi Siska.
The Botswana government has outlined a bold and compelling vision for the country's future in Vision 2036. This vision entails a transformation from an upper middle income economy to a high income economy. Hence the need to implement the remuneration policy that will allow government to effectively attract, retain and inspire its public service workforce.
How is the fan-shaped salary structure going to be beneficial for us as the public service? Not only from monetary purposes or from the monetary perspective, but also in terms of how we manage our growth. Growth for career and also growth in terms of our salaries. So that is the reason, or those are the reasons why we have agreed with the unions to implement the fan-shaped salary structure.
Tumalano a rona ke go rehetse sengwe le sengwe ngwaga yone e re ngwaga e tlang re simoleng sentle gongwe ka bo April ka re gongwe ka bo April e be re tlhaba tema yaano re heditse sengwe le sengwe ga re ka se ka radiwa ke sepe mo tseleng ga nne le moukwa sentle go tsamaya go bonala tsela go tsamaya go bonala mathata a tshwanetseng gore a thulo ka tlhogo gore go welanwe gore go goroga ko re yang teng re tsamaya gone go.
According to the report by the consultant, the current salary structure design is not sustainable in terms of managing the salary bill, keeping equity, and maintaining employee morale.
So given all these challenges, we put a fan-shaped salary structure. What it means are two things. One, because of the three rulers that we saw, we overlap your salary. Overlapping means you have the freedom. Meaning the more skills you have, the more experience you have, you can stay within a grade and get more pula. Or as I said, you can choose to jump and get the money as well, but you take higher responsibility and accountability.
A few of the workers recognized the meeting and expressed their concerns.
Re kopa re thinyetse batho ba swele ba re neeleng di scheme of service re nne le di structure diphetogo tseo di buang tse le re motho a ntshe maduo tota o ntshe maduo o beetswe selo se sa gore o bereka ha kae o tsamaya go ema ha kae.
A scheme of service has se na nna se implementiwa batho ba hela ho ha entry pointing kana ba tshwanetse gore ba tswelele pele ka progression go itheleleng ba reach ceiling.
Re di utlwile ra akanya gore re tle re ditse mohago ka gore dipotso tsa teng di lebega ile dipotso tse di amanang le maphata a harologaneng tse di senang karabo engwe hela e tshwanang.
The DPSM stated its awareness of the unpaid debts owed to the public servants and pledged to settle them by the year end. Mamusi Siska, BTV News. Slibe Pigwe.
And the 8th Pan-African Forum on Migration, or PAF 08, held under the theme Bolstering Free Movement and Trade Nexus in AFC, optimizing benefits of migration, labor migration for development, is hoped to deconstruct barriers towards advancement of free movement of people and trade in Africa. This was highlighted during an ongoing forum hosted by the African Union in partnership with the Ministry of Labour and Home Affairs. Botswana takes over the chairmanship of the PAF 0M8 from Rwanda. Refule Mutube.
The forum, which is hosted by African Union Commission in partnership with the Ministry of Labour and Home Affairs, is aimed at creating a single African market for goods and services, facilitated by free movement of persons, capital and investment to deepen economic integration. This forum is the highlight for Botswana for this year as it takes over the chairmanship of PAF 8 from Rwanda.
There is need for African leadership and technocrats to invest in creating awareness of our people of the vast opportunities which can be brought by orderly migration. This will unleash unprecedented and sustainable economic growth. As Africans, we are connected by a common thread in our population structures known by all as migration.
I just want also to mention that Rwanda, if you speak about free movement, but Rwanda has embraced this, the free movement of people, for no visa required for all African countries, no visa required for the Commonwealth countries, and no visa required for all the Francophone countries.
Investment on issues of migration is hoped to create awareness for people to unleash vast opportunities for sustainable economic growth.
As such, within the broader African integration framework, the implementation of the protocol of a treaty establishing the African Economic Community relating to the free movement of persons, right of residence and right of establishment become urgent. Allow me at this juncture to underscore three salient points for our deeper reflection. First, enhancing the migration, mobility and trade nexus.
Now, accelerating African integration and creating one African market will undoubtedly unlock economic and social benefits for the people of Africa. However, alongside the relatively free movement of goods, services and capital, even freer movement of labour and persons needs to be prioritised.
This forum will, over the next 3 days, increase awareness and understanding between migration, human mobility, trade, and how it can contribute to the broader integration agenda for the continent at large. Refule Mutube, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Minister for Health, Dr. Nikoloti, has urged community leaders to lead in the advancement of sexual reproductive health and rights for adolescents and vulnerable groups. The minister said this during a high-level meeting organized by the Ministry of Health, UNFPA and Ntwele Kgosi in Maung to talk about issues and cultural practices that undermine young people's rights to decide on their sexual needs. The minister says their involvement can assist to break down barriers, challenge harmful cultural practices, and create supportive environment for women. Maranyane Samakata.
The main objective of this high-level meeting is to capacitate traditional leaders on issues of sexual reproductive health and the rights of adolescents and vulnerable groups, and mobilize communities to address such issues. The Minister of Health, Dr. Edwin Dikoloti, says their involvement can assist in breaking down cultural barriers that undermines the rights of vulnerable groups, such as women and children.
Di mo bonyina di nyena ya la ba ileng gore le ka tlhamalatsa dilo go ruta bana ba rona gore ha o le ngwana mosetsana di khantse tsa tlhakano dikobo di simologa leng o tshwantse gore o dire jang gore bana ba rona ba khone go babalesega.
UNFPA says violation of sexual rights comes with devastating results.
50% of the population is constituted by women. And one of the things that actually undermines equality in gender is because a number of young, talented women are left behind because they have to drop out of school and not fully exercise their development because of unintended pregnancy. We are also alive that unintended pregnancy causes, in some cases, even deaths to those young people, as sometimes they are forced to take options that they are uncomfortable with in order to deal with the unintended pregnancy.
The Khosi are equally worried about violations of sexual rights of young people. It is expected that the high-level meeting will produce an action plan that form a consensus to urgently address issues of sexual reproductive health and rights. Maranyane Samakata, BTV News, Maung.
You're watching BTV News and thank you for staying with us. A healthy diet, well-laid fitness program and moderately having a vibrant, uplifting social life that is anchored on peace are some of the core values highlighted as paramount in combating mental health ailments. This was said by the State Minister of Local Government Development, Metalita Monakota, at an Arabathon event organized for mental health awareness in Jwaneng, Immanuel Rapua.
Various local fitness clubs, together with some from neighboring countries like Lesotho, Eswatini, and South Africa, converged in Jwaneng town with one mission of promoting physical fitness as a way of life and also to unpack causes and solutions to avert mental illnesses.
Monna o sola ka hateng a re ntshetseng go ntle jaaka re bona bomme ba ntsha mme ke re in the spirit of today's sports event, remember that physical activity and a healthy lifestyle can also help reduce the risk of mental health. Regular exercise, maintaining a balanced diet, ka ha re jang ka teng, and avoiding excessive alcohol consumption.
Today, we want to talk about through Arabathon. Arabathon, you know, has a mental health and awareness. Sports unite us. Sports can bring us together. So we want to talk about at the same time, physical fitness. This thing is done annually.
As mental disorders affect productivity in the workplace, emphasis is on seeking appropriate medical help.
Ha re setse ke rona ba re apela borre ba rona a re boneng gore ba apela sentle a re boneng gore ba gogela go go siameng teng.
All attendees were empowered on how to deal with confronting situations to eventually pursue a remedial path that will bring calm and sound health. Emmanuel Rapua, BTV News, Jwaneng.
Now, the coordinator of the Mindset Change Secretariat, Boyce Betlela, says Chelsea residents should maximize on their proximity to the Trans-Kalahari corridor in Muno border post and use this to their advantage to open up avenues for trade. Betlela says Botswana should adopt positive mindsets in identifying and seek opportunities within where they reside instead of relocating to towns and cities to earn a living for themselves. Angela Enosa with the details.
Rural-urban migration is detrimental to the development of villages and small towns as it rids rural areas of skilled manpower, reduces buying power, and slows down economic growth, which also stifles the growth of industries. Mindset change is seen as one way of slowing down this phenomenon, but Botswana being called upon to see the areas they reside in, be they rural or urban areas, as gems which they can exploit for better gains.
Ha o ka se kang ha bonala sengwe sa botshelo sengwe se se ka rekisiwang mathata ke gore dikakanyo le maikutlo a rona a go boithobogo rotlhe re siela go ga borodi bangwe bone ba hapana le rona ba ya gonekwa ba go bula dishopo ha ba sena go di bula ke rona re bongwe re gang re batho ba re tsetse se nnang ta utonare ko tsalwang teng ko phalape ya ka nna ke tswa ko phalape hanka le ba hela di dintsi ka di dira.
Charles Hill resident Miss Oretzen Tlamme has discovered riches in her own backyard. Processing certain foods from her garden as well as those collected in the wild, she is making a living selling such.
I see ke kopane le makala na o meheri re kofi jwana to go le ke ntsha boleng jwa teng ka 2023 jwa ke sna go bona morama ke hele gore ke ri ha heri ke enwa molobeng go helela mo mbe jwa ka bo merogo jwa le bioze bo ri tshela jwa ha ise ke kopane le lekala na lengwe go gore bioza me Batswana ba birakile heri bona ka bo bona ba ra ke go birihisa tozi bika binsupege ja gore be healthy mo go boka goreng ha gona ya ne dar na ka tsanwa ke mala ha gona mongwe ya ne dar na ka reng
gona ne bo Botswana Bureau of Standards e leng gore yone ya no ngete be ya go tsena e re nyame ta re bone gore a mme kofi ya gago is it up to a certain standard se e leng gore rona re na le sone so that ba ka maga tsone di certificate yeo ya bo bobse ke ha se tso ngwe re ka re go dile thata mo e leng gore ya no go ngoka hella a compete even more on the international market.
The residents are called on to take advantage of the busy Trans-Kalahari Gateway linking Botswana to Namibia amongst other countries to increase their market access.
Charles Hill batho ba heta ka bokete jo go kana mo motseng wa gago a o kare ha gona senga se dira lona ba Charles Hill le na le dikgomo le na le dipudi le na le dinku beke la bolaya suga matalo dirandi kopo dirandi phate.
The Mindset campaign is based on the premise that every Botswana has the potential to advance the nation by knowing the development of this country lies solely on them being more positive about the role they have to play. Angela Enusa, BTV News, Charles Hill.
And that's how we end our bulletin at this hour. Hosokongwe is standing by to give you sports news.
Let me thank you, Kailo, and greetings to you all. And of course, as he has already mentioned, I'm Khosronko, bringing to you in context the sports news. And with that, let's just get straight into it and kickstart with the top leading story. VTM FC registered the second point of the 2023-2024 Botswana Premier League football season yesterday after playing to a 0-0 draw with the Township Rollers at Royal Aria Stadium in Tlukweng. Ryan Kangwanyani was there.
Barely 3 days after their first loss of the season to Joining Galaxy, Popa desperately needed a good result to redeem themselves against the wounded VTM, who also lost their weekend game to Matebele. The Blues created many chances in the first half, but Bafana Badijabane's goalkeeper denied them the scoring opportunities until halftime break. After recess, both teams tried to break the deadlock but failed to convert. As a result, the match ended in a goalless draw.
We tried all what we think was right. Even manpower we changed, things were not on. But we're missing some of the hurried decision, unnecessary issues where we need somebody to be composed in the box. The keeper is here, you are here, you want to play it high. Just underneath, low, hard and low. Anyway, things are, we played a draw. Today we played last time we were beaten, today a draw. But it's very touching if you cannot put results against a team that is low in the log, you see. But without disrespecting them, we know they are going to do their life. They will fight for their life, and they did. 1 point to them is better than us dropping 2.
Let me start by appreciating this point. We are coming from a shaky start to our season, but trust me, I trust what we do as a team. We knew coming here, rollers, they will try to the two natural fullbacks. They are not natural defenders. They are good in their secondary role. We wanted to capitalize on that. Hence the speed. We knew the other pair in the central defense without Simi. There will come someone who lack match readiness. We needed again to capitalize on that. The three midfielders, we knew they're just ball players, but they lack a ball winner in the midfield. We needed to go at them. The plan was to attack rollers because I knew the two fullbacks plus the centre back and the midfield, they won't sustain the pace will come at.
VTM's second loss of the season leaves them languishing at the bottom of the Botswana Premier League log standings with 2 points from 5 games. Innocent Morapedi's side, on the other hand, have collected 10 points from 5 games after winning 3 games, drawing 1 and losing 1 in the process. Ryan Khunyan, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Still in Botswana Premier League games played yesterday, Orapa United ended Matebele FC's unbeaten run after Kevin Bengala's brace gave the Ostriches a 2-1 victory over Kukantsu at the Naledi Football Academy in Odi, and Bon Mosia scored for Matebele. Meanwhile, Murupule Wanderers continued with their poor run after losing 1-0 against the BDF 11 at the Palape Stadium. And in another game, Gaborone United registered a 1-0 victory over Swa Flamingos at the National Stadium. And now into tennis. Botswana Tennis Association has won an International Tennis Federation CIT Development Award for the best development programs in Southern Africa at the recent 50th Confederation of African Tennis Association annual general meeting held in Kenya. Every 3 months, ITF collects data of the development of players and clubs from which they will coordinate statistics to assess the countries that are doing well in order to acknowledge them. Homsus Fako has more.
The president of Botswana Tennis Association, Waitsi Thipe, says the award is a clear indication that their efforts to develop the sport did not go unnoticed, hence the recognition.
This award means a lot to the association because it's a collaborative effort between the parents, the coaches, the clubs, the sponsors, to make sure that we continue investing in tennis and there's continuity in players playing tournaments in our clubs at the National Tennis Center.
Thipe highlighted that the award will motivate them to continue to increase the popularity of tennis in all parts of the country, as their main aim is to identify and nurture tennis players and organize playing tennis at social, competitive and professional level.
The BTA has also, over the past few years, made sure that they continue investing in coaches. Each and every year we've made sure that we host at least 2 coaches courses to make sure that the coaching level is standard. The BTA has also increased the number of international tennis tournaments from 2022, where we had 4 tournaments. This year we've had 6 international tournaments.
BTA already have plans for 2024, as their objective is to ensure that tennis participation continues to rise.
We're going to have tennis festivals for under 10s. We're going to have tennis festivals in Maung, where we have a coach that is based there. We're going to have tennis festivals in Sarowe, Palape, Francistown. We're also going to have a high-level performance training camp for national team players in Francistown. In addition, we're going to have 2 coaching courses in Gaborone and in Francistown. All these activities will take place before the end of the year. That's how we're going to be wrapping up the year. Going forward to next year, we're going to increase our international tennis tournaments from 6 weeks to 10 weeks. We're going to have the pro events, which are normally called $15,000 US pro tournaments. These tournaments would catapult our players from under 18 level to pro level.
This is not the first time BTA gets acknowledged for their efforts in developing the sport in the country. In 2020, the Confederation of African Tennis recognized BTA for being able to continue with their programs despite the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. Khomzo Sefako, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And that is all that we had for you from In Context, the Sports Desk. Let's meet later on at 5 p.m. for Botswana News. And of course, let's continue on rallying behind the hashtag #AreChanging, hashtag BW Mindset Change. It is very, very vital. With that, have a good afternoon. Kailo Sabone is on standby to continue with In Context here on BTV News Channel, hashtag Ikanyorona.
Government machinery, which is one of the cornerstones of the reset agenda, has begun. In this regard,
President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi delivers the State of the Nation address on Monday, 6 November, marking the commencement of the first meeting of the 5th session of the 12th Parliament.